What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Movie X Kicks, and this is going to be the review of the movie The Green. So, the movie The Green Knight, Beto plays Godwin. He is the nephew of King Arthur. And this rendition is based off a book. Now, in this rendition of a movie, the movie starts off on Christmas Eve, where the knights and King Arthur are chilling in the main hall when the Green Knight approaches, who is this mysterious knight who is basically green and made of wood. He challenges the king to a challenge of basically a certain game, and no one takes him up on the offer. But then, after all the stories that they're telling from the Knights of the Round Table, Godwin, who is, like I said, King Arthur's son, King Arthur's nephew, hops into the fray and says he'll accept the challenge since no one else will. So the Green Knight basically hands him a sword and says, "Cut him anywhere, and that I'll return to you a year later to do that." And so Godwin basically takes the sword and cuts his head off, and he picks up his head and goes upon his way and says, "In 1 year I will return and do the same to you." And that kind of becomes the legend. He becomes a legend after the knight leaves, and basically everyone screams and praises him. But he has 1 year before the Green Knight can basically come and do the same thing. So he basically embarks on a journey to go to the Green Knight to basically get it out the way. So that's pretty much the premise of it. Now, this is a very odd story. I will tell you that. Now, I have a lot of kind of reservations about a movie like this, where this is like one of those movies that comes out that a lot of critics will love and rip and rave about. Dev Patel's character, Godwin, he plays that beautifully. Like, he is a great actor. Ever since Slumdog Millionaire, he was my guy. So anything that he does generally is not always good, but pretty much he's a very solid actor. He's one of the best. I could see him obviously getting nominated for an Oscar for this role. The things about this movie, like I said, beautiful cinematography, beautiful set design. Everyone could act very well. It's just, to me, this movie wasn't my cup of tea. It was a very slow burn. It was more of a Lord of the Rings meet Fable type of movie. And like I said, it's a very slow burn. So not a lot of action happens in this movie. And it's a lot like one of those kind of set pieces, like we just kind of in awe of the mastery of the cinematography and the work. Like, it's a beautiful story from that aspect of it. Like I said, a lot of critics and film people will love this movie, but for like the average person, who really doesn't really like that type of transitions works, or if you guys know what I'm saying, trying to say, who doesn't really like that kind of, oh, like the lighting and then the camera work and the screen. No, like, some people do like a good story, and that, to me, that's what one of the things kind of lack. Because if you really think about it, a green giant comes out of nowhere and says, "Hey, cut any limb on my body off," and you go straight for the head. Then he picks the head up and just goes on and says, "Oh, in a year, I'm going to come back and do the exact same thing to you." Like, first of all, if he comes up to me somewhere, "You want to play a game?" I think of automatically Saul. I'm like, no, I don't, Jigsaw. I don't want to play a game with you. We're good. And but that goes to show that, like, how Daniel's character, Dev's character, is so eager to please King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table that he's willing to risk his own life in order to basically appease them and to say, "I'm one of you guys," even though he's not a knight. He's basically just King Arthur's nephew. And it's like one instant thing that happened that really kind of made me lose interest. Kind of like halfway through the movie, basically his character gets robbed, and he, like, by like little kids. And after that, I kind of lost all respect for him. They weren't little kids, but they were children. He could have taken them, and they just basically suckered him and sent him through the woods. And this was just a very odd story. Like, he's talking to people in the woods, and I'm just up here like, dude, this is very odd. So I'm up here looking like, what the hell's going on? Roles, but to me, it was just an okay story. Like, I wouldn't watch this movie again, me personally. But no, there were some standouts. I can't find the lady's name who was in it. Her name was Erin Kelly May. She played Winfield. Now, she was a good role, but there was another character who, Anna Reezy. Now, Anna Reezy and two really good breakout roles. Just their character work with Dev, their chemistry, it just flowed so well. to me that was like the breakout, kind of what woke me up, just seeing how pretty she was, and two, just the way they acted, just how they had a chemistry together was just so on point. And I did love those two. To me, those were kind of like one of the little standout roles, opposed from Dev. Now everyone else, like I said, did an amazing job, but to me those two stood out the most, just because they were two pretty much there were two ladies in kind of like a male driven world at that time, in that time century. So to me, for them to get their, their shine in this movie was just kind of a good look for them. Solid movie. I can see it get nominated for a lot of Oscars, but it was kind of boring on the low. So with that said, guys, if you guys like movie reviews, TV show reviews, sneaker reviews, think about subscribing to the channel. If you like your stuff, please give me a like. I would highly appreciate that. Until next time, guys, Mr. X is out.